Hello and welcome back to the Football Chats podcast. Today it is time for our FPL special. Of course, we are doing a league as always, and the code will be on screen now. So make sure to join up. I think we've got 555 members. The last time I checked. That's a very specific number to not know, but that's pretty impressive. I know we got to 650 last year. My goal was to get to 1,000 this year. We've only got 2 days left to do it. If we could find 450 members out of nowhere, that'd be quality. But yeah, there is no prizes. Unfortunately, we are not made of money. So the quicker you get us a monetisation, the quicker we can give you prizes for winning our FPL league. It was FPL Peru, Danny Geller.
Danny Geller.
And I believe he's in the league again. So if you want to get schooled by Danny, or you want to challenge him, I'd love to see someone challenge Danny Geller. That'd be brilliant to see. Zach Drayton, of course, was up there as well. I believe he's renewed for another season.
Away for Tuchel?
I believe so as well. Yeah. I think I've seen all those names. So we've got all the big ones from last year. Of course, we're in there. It'd be strange if we weren't. We were just not asked. So yeah, make sure to join that. And yeah, today we're going to run through our first FPL teams of the season.
Yes.
Like what we're going for week one. What we think we're why basically we're going to be going for that. So do you want to start with your goalkeeper for the first game? Well, both goalkeepers. Tell me who you're starting and tell me who you're not.
First I'll go for my starting, as you said, and starting in goal, I've got Emi Martinez against Bournemouth.
Right.
What?
No, I'm just interested. Why?
I mean, I've looked at Villa's first few fixtures. It's a really nice run of Bournemouth, Everton, Palace, and then West Ham. For the first 4 games, it's pretty decent.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at his fixture list after that.
It does get a bit tough with then Arsenal, Villa, and
West Ham, Arsenal, City.
City, yeah.
It's quite the tough run there, and then Leicester can bring a surprise.
I don't know why Leicester registered 4 difficult.
Because they used to be a good team.
But then after that run, it's really nice in that middle bit there.
Yeah.
So I've got Emi Martinez, and then my bench keeper, I've gone for Bernd Leno. Obviously, on at the time of recording, he was still registered as an Arsenal goalkeeper, but he has been confirmed to be playing for Fulham next season. Yeah,
I presume you're not going for him week 1 though.
No, he'll be on the bench.
How many minus points can he get in one game week? Or he's going to have a blinder and Emi Martinez is going to concede against Bournemouth now. Because you're starting Emi, yeah. My goalkeepers then, so yeah, you're starting Emi, aren't you?
Yes,
my keepers, both the same price actually. Well, you went for Leno's 4.5, isn't it? So not exactly the same. I've gone for 2 5-mil goalkeepers, if I'm not mistaken. I am not. I've gone for Nick Pope of Newcastle and David De Gea of Brighton. Now, I think these two work really well together. I don't really know who I'm going to start first game week yet. I've still not decided. Pope playing against Forest. De Gea playing against Brighton. It's a tough one because I do think both of them will keep a clean sheet.
Although
it's just who will make more saves.
United conceded 4 to Brighton last time.
Yeah, but this United team looks a little better. I think I'm going to back De Gea.
Okay.
For now, I'm going to back De Gea right now. And if you look at their fixture list, De Gea, he has Man United on the third. Sorry, they play Liverpool on the 3rd game week, not against United. Nick Pope, Newcastle do have to play City on the 3rd game week, so that's a tough choice for me there. That could be a problem.
That might have to be an early change there.
Or just take a punt that maybe De Gea won't concede against Liverpool. You never know.
That's a big punt.
Yeah, it is. It is a bit of a bowl. I don't know. I think game week 3 might be a write-off for my keeper. I might just have no keepers.
Yeah. Okay. Into defenders?
Yes. So obviously 5 defenders in FPL.
I'm starting 3.
Interesting.
First, I've gone for Perisic. Obviously at Tottenham now, left wing back. So he's going to get up the pitch. He's going to. We know he's more likely. Looking at all the defenders, he's more likely to get goals and assists. And I think it's very good for a defender. Because obviously for defenders, they get more points for scoring goals and getting assists. And I think Perisic playing as a left wing back is more likely to do that. And especially Southampton at home, first game week. That could be a cricket score.
Do you not worry he might take time to adapt to the Premier League?
No.
Fair enough.
No, 'cause it's a Conte system, and it's not like he's used to playing fast football. He's a European, even though he played for Bayern at one point.
He did.
So it's not just it's not like he's used to playing Serie A. Then our defender Ben Chilwell. Obviously, again another left back. He's going to get forward. I picked him over Reece James.
I was going to say, I think that's very controversial. Chilwell has not looked great in pre-season. Cucurella is now linked with Chelsea for 50 mil. He could be joining very soon. In which case, it begs the question: what should they do there? I think personally, Cucurella will start in the back three. And
that
will
might
play
have to be changed, but for game week 1 it'll be Chilwell against Everton away. That's the only thing that worries me. Chelsea haven't beat Everton at Goodison Park in 4 games.
That's going to change, I'm telling you.
I hope so.
Look out for the front predictions tomorrow.
My third defender is a bit of a gamble. I've gone Zinchenko against Palace away. The reason I've picked Zinchenko this year is because obviously he isn't a left back. Pep turned him into a left back.
Yeah.
So there could be a chance Arsenal aren't very good in the midfield department.
And they already have Kieran Tierney at left back.
There is a chance that Zinchenko could play centre midfield for Arsenal, but also on FPL he'll get points for a defender. So if he's likely to score or get an assist or play well,
could also
he'll get more points.
Get points for clean sheets as well, even when he doesn't contribute to it.
He doesn't play. He doesn't play. Also, because they won't be able to change the position, will they, of Zinchenko? They won't change.
No, he will be defender all yet. So do you not worry though that he might not play at all?
He will.
You sure?
Yeah.
That he might be benched for the first few weeks?
No.
And then rotated in?
Well, I hope not.
And then start El Neni and Xhaka.
On my bench, I've got 2 very cheap mid defenders, but also 2 very good defenders. I've got Tariq Lamptey.
United first game was a tough one.
Yeah, that's why I benched him in third sub.
He shouldn't be getting used unless your team choices have really gone down the drain.
And then my my last defender is Neco Williams of Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
Very cheap for 4 mil, which means I can put more money into my forward attacking areas. And I think he'll do a decent job if I ever need to sub him in for a game week.
I think Neco is like a must-have this year. 27.8% of the game have selected him.
But you're 4 mil defender.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a very good
He's going to be playing every week.
Yeah.
It's between him and Patson. If you don't have one of those two, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
I also have Neco Williams. He is also my second sub. Ooh. I don't really want him playing, but if he does happen to...
Yeah.
If Trippier doesn't play for whatever reason, if they bench some of my other options, I mean, I've given away one of them there, but Kieran Trippier, Newcastle, I think it's a good shout because set pieces and clean sheets. I think he'll excel in both those departments this year.
I mean, I did have Trippier,
goals and assists
I replaced him with Lamptey because I wanted to put the money elsewhere.
Interesting. Then I've also backed to Chelsea fullback. It's not Venture, although it is Reece James. This is, again, a very obvious pick. Almost 40% of the game have him, with Trippier at 17%. I'm just getting some guaranteed points, I think, at the back.
Yeah.
Just a solid little flow of points. And then I've gone for a bit of a rogue shout here of Matt Dougherty. Now, the slight concern is that he doesn't play.
Yeah.
But I think we'll soon learn that he doesn't play. And I'm not too worried because he'll get subbed out for either Neco Williams or I have Tyrick Mitchell from Crystal Palace. They have got Arsenal first game week, which I don't think's a terrible thing because I do think he could still bring home some points. But yeah, I've got Dougherty, a bit of a punt. They could play Spence, but with 1.1% selecting him in the game, that's a very big differential pick.
That's compared to the likes of Perisic, 29.1.
That's what I'm saying. And he's half a mil cheaper as well, Matt Dougherty. If he does play, he will bring me points, and I will be absolutely loving it. And if he doesn't, he gets subbed out for Williams. So yeah, we're fine.
Just to show the difference, how many people have selected Reece James?
39%.
Only 5.4% have picked Ben Chilwell.
Again, you could say it's a differential pick. I'd say it's because no one wants him.
Yeah.
Or if people are taking him, they're taking him as well as James.
13%. That's pretty high. That's higher than I thought it was going to be.
That's lower than I thought it was going to be.
Alright.
That's quite interesting.
Lamptey only 2.9% as well. But against midfielders.
So a bit of a differential there. But I guess people are thinking tough first game for Brighton. Maybe bring him in second game week.
He's more a backup really, and just a cheap option to sub in.
Yeah, I think no backup for Brighton. I was like, well, what is this man on? But no. And midfielders then, who have you got? Who are your premium stars first up?
The reason I've gone for 4 mil Neco Williams and 4.5 mil Tariq Lamptey and 4.5 mil Leno is so that I have managed to bring in Mo Salah as my captain, first game against Fulham.
Yeah.
And Heung-min Son against Southampton at home. I've got them both into my midfield, which I think could be massive.
Yeah, that is pretty big, to be fair. I looked at Salah. I've not chosen Salah. I don't think 13 mil is worth it. He did bring home 265 points, I believe it was last year.
My opinion, because I didn't have Salah. I'll be honest, I didn't have Salah. And then after watching the community, because I thought his form at the end of last season wasn't great. Pre-season's been okay for him. But after watching the Community Shield, I know it's a bit hard to rate on the.
No, to be fair, he did look really good.
Fantastic against the Community Shield.
My only query is he didn't score,
and he got 2 assists.
He did get 2 assists,
And that was against City. Against Fulham.
Yeah, he probably will score at least 10.
And obviously Son against Southampton again.
A lot of people tipped him for relegation. If you watched our podcast on Monday, we both put them in the drop zone.
Being honest, I think that could be Southampton getting their 9-1 loss out of the way first game week.
Yeah, their yearly 9-1 loss. Maybe they're even better this year. They'll go 10-1. Who knows?
Actually, I was.
To be fair, they didn't lose 9-1 last season. Their biggest loss was 6-0. I mean, it's still not good.
Yeah.
But
The
it's
problem
not
is
9-1.
taking Salah and Son does mean I've had to take a bit of a gamble on the strikers department. But just to round out my midfield.
But again, though, strikers didn't do much last season. I'm thinking back to the strike. Most people just pick cheap ones. No one took Kane for a while because he wasn't scoring. Ronaldo was up and down for the first part of the season and eventually started scoring. And Lukaku was poor, so strikers were actually... It was better to go cheap there and expensive in midfield. So maybe your strategy will pay off massively.
And my other 2 midfielders are Luis Diaz, also against Fulham. I'm hoping he's going to start.
Yeah.
I mean, he's starting the Community Shield.
I think they'll line up with Diaz, Nunez, Salah.
Yeah.
And I think the only reason Nunez didn't start against City was that they wanted him an impact, because he did make that impact.
Yeah.
And he announced himself. If he'd started, he would have had the same problems as Haaland. Of him learning to adapt. But he came on against a tired City defence and he went and grabbed himself a goal.
And then my other midfielder starting, so I've got Salah captained, Son, Luis Diaz and Martin Odegaard. Wow. He had a really good... Yeah. I think he actually had a really underrated season last season for Arsenal. I think Arsenal will be very, very good this year. I think right up there at the sharp end of the table. And I think Crystal Palace, first game, is a potential banana skin, but I think they should win it. And if they are going to win it, Odegaard's going to be involved somehow.
I think it will say a lot about how Arsenal's season's going to go.
Yeah.
The opening game, which I think it's a little early to judge, but if they win that game, I'm confident they'll then push on and be up there. If they lose it, though, I think then you're expecting them to be 5th.
Yeah.
Because they're showing the same kind of ability to lose games like that, like they did last season. Because immediately from that Brentford loss at the start of the season, I mean, they were in the relegation zone going into the 3rd game week. And if they hadn't beaten Norwich...
Yeah.
So no, 4th game, wasn't it? Because they played Chelsea and City as their 2nd and 3rd game. So yeah, if they haven't beaten Norwich...
That Palace game is tomorrow night. Yes. We are live for it on this channel.
We will be, indeed. So join us there from, I believe, 7 o'clock, I think.
We'll be going
an hour live, an hour early, sorry.
Do some and then obviously my last midfielder who is on the bench is Leon Bailey. Bit of a gamble, but he's been very good in pre-season.
I think it's a gamble that's worth it.
I think if he can stay fit, he could have an exceptional season for Villa. I think he will. It's difficult. This is the reason I benched him. Is yes, Villa have got Bournemouth, but I can't work out whether he's going to start or not. Because with Coutinho, Buendia, Bailey, Gerrard also might want to play Watkins out on the left wing, like a weirdo. There's options.
Yeah, but I think it's a bench option. It's fine. Do you not potentially look at Andres Pereira though? You talk about cutting costs, so you can bring in Salah and Son.
Nah, I don't know.
Do you not rate Pereira?
No, again, and as I predicted Fulham to be relegated in the table predictions, I don't think he's having a great season.
I think first game week will be tough for Liverpool, but as a bench option, he's fine. I've not brought in Andres though. I've also got Bailey, and he's also my first sub.
All right.
I think if anyone's not going to play, then he'll be fine to step in. Yeah. My team though, Heung-min Son, guaranteed for me. He did so well last season, and I think for 12 mil, it's a little bit pricey, but it's not quite the 13 for Salah, and I think Son will outscore Salah this season. And I also think he'll get more assists as well, probably, with Kane up there. Then I also have Mason Mount against Everton. This is a bit of a rogue one. 10% of the game have selected him though, so it's not too out there. It's not too much of a differential, but I love watching Mason Mount play. I'm a massive Chelsea fan, obviously. I'm bringing him in. I've got to. It might be a little bit biased, but I've got to bring him in.
Yeah,
I think. And then I have Bukayo Saka.
I did Arsenal. Have Saka. I went Odegaard instead.
Interesting. Yeah, he's not a differential pick. 21% affect him. I think guaranteed points with Bukayo Saka. I've had this man and one other Arsenal player in my team for a while.
How many points did Saka get last year?
Last 179.
Okay, Odegaard got 131. I think that was Odegaard's first season in the Premier League.
And yeah, he also plays a little deeper
Yeah.
than Saka. And then, this is a bit of a punt, of Jadon Sancho.
Ooh.
I'll be honest, the United team's looking decent in pre-season. They've got Brighton game week 1, who have a defence in a little bit of disarray at the moment.
Yeah.
Cucurella's asking to leave. And I do think Sancho, against possibly not Cucurella.
Well, they might be able to get Angelino.
It could, yeah, but I don't think they'll get him in before Saturday.
Good, yeah, I mean, they're completely.
And if Cucurella doesn't want to play, if he's trying to force a move, he might not even play that game.
Joel Belton.
I was going to say, a bang average left back, Sancho could tear him apart.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I'm very excited to see how this Rashford, Martial, Sancho front three gets on, which is an interesting call from Ten Hag. He said that even if Ronaldo is fit, he will not be starting. So that's interesting. So yeah, Sancho against Brighton, I think hopefully he can get a goal and an assist maybe.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see. He could do terribly, in which case I'll get rid of him.
Just before we get to the strikers, something interesting I want to bring up is that 59% of the game have picked Salah, only 25% have Son.
I think people... Because when you look on the base of it, Fulham, easy game. Southampton, not so easy. Obviously, that looks to have changed this year, but I'm thinking, if you're just a casual...
I think people are overestimating.
If you're someone who doesn't regularly watch the Premier League, you just go, Sally's got Fulham, they've just come out from the Championship, easy win. If you don't actually look at the sides and evaluate them. But Southampton look just as bad as Fulham, if not maybe worse.
I think people are overestimating Southampton.
Yeah, potentially. And that's why maybe they don't bring in Son. And I guess if you are going to go Son, then maybe you go Kane.
Yeah.
Because, and then obviously all Liverpool fans will go Salah. If you're a Tottenham fan, you have the two options there. Should we get into strikers? Because
and I've taken a few gambles.
With the moves now, there are a lot more options out there. Obviously, Haaland's now joined the league. Darwin Nunez has now joined the league. Jesus has gone to a side where he's actually going to play some football. So there has been changes. And Lukaku's not in the game, so unfortunately they couldn't take him.
Because I've gone Salah and Son, it does mean I can't have any of those premium strikers that you're talking about.
Interesting, yeah.
First,
well, you could have gone for like two very cheap strikers and just completely thrown away two striker slots.
First, I've got Ivan Toney. I think he'll have a good season this year. Obviously, he takes penalties for Brentford, so any penalty is hopefully a guaranteed goal.
Yeah, I turned him my side for a while.
Yeah, I think Leicester, first game. Leicester are struggling at home. They could lose Fofana.
I don't think Fofana have gone to Chelsea before the game.
Madison's under
I was going to say two bids from Newcastle. Both been rejected, but I still think that's going to go through eventually.
And even if it doesn't, he'll want to leave, won't he? He'll be looking at that Newcastle money.
The heart won't be in it for a lot of the players. So I do think, and obviously they might not have a goalkeeper.
No, because Schmeichel was going to Nice.
So they might have Danny Ward in
there.
So
I think Ivan Toney first game is a very good pick.
Against either a Schmeichel who doesn't want to be there or Danny Ward.
Yeah. Then my second choice is Danny Ings. Again, Bournemouth, newly promoted side first game week. I think that's a good call. I think he will start, especially the first game. He's looked very good in pre-season. And he and again he takes penalties for Villa.
Yeah.
And we know Danny
Villa are terrible though, so that is a massive problem.
No, that's not right.
How are you going to deal with that, do you reckon?
He's not. And he's got number 9 now, so he's going to score loads of goals.
Fair enough.
And then my final striker is a big gamble. I've gone for Lucas Scamacca.
Interesting.
New signing at West Ham.
Man City opening day.
Exactly.
That is the toughest game possible.
I know, but if there's one game he's going to announce himself to the Hammers, it's going to be scoring.
I had Scamacca and Bowen in my drafts for a while. I took him out though. I just don't think I'm going to take that big a gamble early on. No, might as well just get some secure points. Fair enough. Why do you start Scamacca and not start Leon Bailey?
Scamacca's going to play.
But if Bailey plays, I reckon he'll score more points. And if he doesn't, Scamacca gets subbed in.
So I'm going to change it live.
Oh, wow. Changes live on the podcast.
Scamacca goes to first sub. Leon Bailey will start in my field.
Okay. The teams, we'll put the teams up at the end. So if you want to see the actual images of them so you can have a look through, then yeah.
Oh my days. Lena's literally just been changed to a Fulham keeper.
That is live on the podcast. Literally they must have known.
Yeah, they must have known we're recording this now.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, FPL
app. Thanks FPL for checking that out for me.
And then for my strikers then. I have Gabriel Jesus. So obviously you went for Son and Salah. That kind of cut, and Diaz as well.
I did have Jesus before I got Salah.
Interesting. So you had Son, Salah, Diaz. That cuts down your options going forward in terms of premiums. But because I didn't take a Salah, I do have money going forward. So I've got Jesus in there. Crystal Palace are opening game week. Easy win. Darwin Nunez. This is a massive punt. And I'll be honest, if I hadn't watched the Community Shield final, not a chance is this man anywhere near my team. But he looked very impressive there.
Yeah.
I'm counting on him to come up big. I think he will start against Fulham. I think he will grab me goals, which would be very nice to see.
Yeah.
And then my third striker. This one is very much a gamble. And I would say motivated a little by bias. It's Kai Havertz.
Ooh.
It is very controversial.
That's an interesting one.
I don't even know if he'll start. It could be Orlando Breuer, but I imagine it'll be Havertz at least for the first game.
Yeah.
I think Sterling joining will elevate his goals. Is my thought process,
I
basically.
think Everton away as well, first game could be a good shout.
Exactly. They don't really have any centre-backs, so there should be a lot of space for Havertz to operate in.
Yes.
I think he will get more goals. I think he will get more assists, and that's also why I've brought Mount in.
Yeah.
I think that Mount Sterling Havertz combination will be very tasty, and the only reason I haven't gone for Sterling is so I can bring Reece James in, who I also think will have a really good season, and so that I don't have to spend 10 mil on a midfielder. I can keep that money and spread it about. If not, I would have, because I did have Sterling in there for a while, but I think having Son, Saka, Sancho, it makes a lot more sense than having, say, Son, Sterling, and then having to cheap out on the other midfielders. Yes. So yeah, basically that's my thought process. The teams will pop up on screen now. Both of them, I presume you can get on there.
Yeah, at the same time. Hopefully.
Yeah, brilliant. And put something on there to indicate whose team. But yeah, that is all. As I said, make sure to join the league. The code, I'll even speak it now so that you don't have to remember to read it. If you didn't read it at the start, let me. It should be. If not, we'll sack our editor. He's off. I will just find the code quickly. But yeah.
That's the wrong name.
Another thing that we didn't really talk about: premium goalkeepers. Premium defenders.
I never go for any of them.
So the thing is, Mendy this year's 5 mil. The same price as Emi Martinez. So what's your thought process there?
I did look at Edu Mendy.
My thought for Edu Mendy is he's struggled in pre-season.
Yeah.
And that is pretty much He hasn't looked great.
And then pretty much Alisson and Edison, I never go for because I think it's a waste of money. Because say I've got Edison or Alisson, I then can't have Salah. And if I weigh those options up, I go, well, I'm going to take Salah, aren't I? So, and premium defenders again. Would I rather Trent or Salah? Would I rather Van Dijk or Son? I'm going to pick Son, aren't I?
Yeah, fair enough.
I've never gone to premium defenders.
Yeah, we do. Just to look at the people returning, we do have FPL Beach back. We do have FPL Peru. I believe it was Beach who won, or was it Peru? I can't remember.
It was FPL Peru.
It was FPL Peru, yeah, sorry. And then we have Zach Drayton's back for another year, Joshua Barreto. We've got a few of the guys who are right at the sharp end.
Or anyone that is in here.
Yeah, I mean, we could see some people who weren't here last year
getting
involved.
Clark,
getting involved and doing the madness.
Roland Muyura. This has gone well already.
Yeah, you smashed
if you are in the league, let us know in the comments below.
I will,
I'm looking at you, Calvin Menz.
If you're not, then join and see how many members we can get to. We're going to see who can win it. I'm aiming for a top 200 this year. I came 200. I think I crept in the top 200, didn't I? Got 180, so maybe I need to aim even higher.
You did really well.
I'd love to be top 100.
I was 392nd.
Wow.
So I want to
Oddly specific.
I want to be top 300 at least.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I'm aiming for top.
What is the code?
If I could get top 100 this year. Right, the code D3KKYY. Again, it will be on screen again now. D3KKYY. It's such a great code.
D3KKYY. D3KKYY.
Do you know, like, if there's an auto recognition system, they're going to think that there's some robot or something in here, just repeating something mental. Anyway, that is all for today. Make sure to get involved in the comments below. I want to hear what you think of our teams, who you're thinking of picking, and if you've joined the league or not. So I want to know. Get involved. I'll probably leave join
the league. The code is D3KKYY.
I'll probably even leave a link in the description if I've remembered to do that, so look out for that as well. But yeah, that is all for today. Thank you all very much for watching and listening. Of course, if you're on Spotify, you're going to have to head over to YouTube to see that, or just type in the code.
D3
that one there.
KKYY.
But yeah, thank you all very much for watching and listening, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.